So, Fantasy Island, the 2020 edition. Was it 2020? Yeah, it was 2020. Fantasy Island 2020. Um, Outside of the context of it being a Fantasy Island movie, it was alright as a watch, I guess. Like a very disjointed, but if you're a little bit drunk, I guess it's something to watch. I mean, I feel like Lucy Hale should have been walking around in a bikini for a significant part of this movie to really justify it. But yeah, it's not the most coherent story. It sets up a bunch of different stories that are kind of linked together, but they're not really linked together all that well, and there's this surprise twist at the end. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into a spoiler talk. You have been warned. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so Lucy Hale reveals herself as the psychotic, went on one date chick from the college situation. And like that's like one of the main issues with this. Like, why didn't she just wish herself to go back in time and fix what happened, to like show up at his place, wake him up, right? Like 20 minutes early, and be like, "Hey, I kind of rushed things, so I'm sorry about coming early to our date. That being said, I rented us a room, and I have handcuffs, so come on, let's just have fun." And she could just, like, fuck him and have fun with it, and, that. But then she's like, horribly tortures people for some reason, and it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Now, the actual Fantasy Island TV show is famous for specifically having the main guy get into a verbal situation with the devil, and your primary antagonist is the devil. So if you're gonna have Lucy Hale in this movie, like, the obvious question is, why the hell didn't you just make Lucy Hale the devil so that she could, like, manipulate people into wanting stuff and selling their souls or whatever? Like, it seems self-evident that would be the most logical thing to do with the story, but that's not the most logical thing they did with the story. They just sort of fucked around with multiple vague ideas. I think the ex-cop soldier's kid would have, had a decent enough movie had it been a standalone thing. But, like, with him, the question is, like, wait, like, why would he get fired? He was standing on his post, making sure that it was clear for the fire department, and had he gone up, like, he doesn't have cops aren't usually, as far as I know, trained to handle overpressure. When there's a fire, there's this issue when you're breaking down the door. If you open the door, you get this burst of fire because the air pressure needs to equalize. So what you need to do is poke holes in the door using your fire axe, right? And that's gonna more gradually alleviate the pressure of the situation. Right. And then there's, like, the obvious question of, why in a modern college wasn't the building, like, shooting out sprinklers? Like, you would think that the people responsible for the building would be part of her target list. But where the fuck did they go? It's just so the more you think about it, the less sense it makes type of storytelling. But the idea of Lucy Hale playing a bad guy in a Fantasy Island movie seems fucking awesome. I want to see Lucy Hale play the devil. You know? Alternatively, you could have Lucy Hale play twins, and one twin is the devil, and one twin is the Archangel Michael, and she's like, my name's Michelle, or something, and there's like this whole tug of war situation, and blah blah blah, or something like that. Like that would have been interesting to watch, you know? And the fact that this came out right before Peter Dinklage, like, fucking ruined Hollywood for little people and pointed out all this work that was not going to little people. Like, it's really embarrassing because, you know, one of those famous little people out there, Togo or whatever his name was from Fantasy Island, like, where are the little people on Fantasy Island? Are you little people phobic, or are you just lazy producers fucking around? I mean, the fact that it's a movie that's been clearly designed and made by lazy producers fucking around is kind of a good thing for the movie, because at least it's not forced political bullshit. Right? At least it's not forced political bullshit. So it's like a more average type of bad movie. Yeah, it's definitely watchable.